On today's live daily news, some shocking stuff coming out of one of San Angelo's churches. A group of activists are pushing for the city council to do something about the homeless problem here in town, and details on a shooting that you won't believe. Plus, the new president of the San Angelo Republican Women, Debbie Cross, joins the show. All of this plus more. I'm Matt Trammell, and this is Live. But before we get to the news, every weekday, thousands of folks just like you watch the live daily TV news show that is streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, SanAngeloLive.com. Businesses can connect with this large audience by placing a scripted ad at the beginning of each day's broadcast, just like what you are watching right now. As with all advertising clients, we will work with you on setting clear objectives and ways to deliver your message to meet them. Interested in advertising right here? Contact Joe Hyde at San Angelo Live. It's easy, joe at SanAngeloLive.com, or call us 325-340-1238. If you are watching me deliver a scripted ad that could have your message instead of ours, call Joe at 325-340-1238 or email him at joe at SanAngeloLive.com if your business needs to become famous with this type of ad. We start the show today with breaking news. 2 individuals have been arrested in Louisiana and transported back into town for a shooting that happened back in November. According to information obtained by San Angelo Live, at around 8:30 in the morning on November 10th, residents of a home on the 300 block of East 13th Street had called San Angelo police to get help for a shooting victim that had crawled to their home and knocked on the door. The man, covered in blood and wrapped in a towel, had been shot in the face, chest, and leg. The only words that was said by the victim was that it was, and I quote, El Negro. It was revealed during the investigation that Tremarcia George and Keisha Hornsby were both involved with the shooting. It is alleged that George shot the man twice in a home. At some point, the gun jammed. Hornsby reloaded the weapon, gave it back to George, where he landed the final shot to the victim's face. George and Hornsby were captured in Shreveport, Louisiana, and brought back to San Angelo, and are both currently inmates in the Tom Green County Detention Facility, with Hornsby's bond set at $250,000 and George's bond set at $500,000. The condition of the victim is unknown, but police did not say if the man was deceased. For more details, go check out the story exclusively on SanAngeloLive.com. While the police were dealing with shooting suspects from out of town, the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office was working on getting an alleged perv on the run back into town. According to their office on New Year's Eve, James Eric Needham turned himself into the McCulloch County Sheriff's Office for his warrant for possession of child pornography out of Tom Green County. Needham was the former youth coordinator for the local church House of Faith. 2 days prior to his arrest, Tom Green County Sheriff's deputies served a search warrant on his home and found a number of pornographic material containing children. In a statement, the House of Faith said that they were shocked and outraged. With the news, the church immediately terminated Needham. If convicted, Needham could serve up to 10 years in prison. And at the city council meeting on Tuesday, 3 people gave public comment asking that the council put together a homeless shelter task force to help combat the homeless problem here in town. The first commenter, Mike Burnett, runs the local community action agency. He says it is about time that changes be made for San Angelo's homeless population. Let's listen.
Mike Burnett, single member, District 1. As you know, Concho Valley Community Action Agency provides assistance for our low-income neighbors. Over the past few years, this has included working with our homeless population. As you're aware, extreme weather puts our homeless neighbors at extreme risk. To that end, CVCAA has been working with the Concho Valley Homeless Planning Coalition to provide safe haven in extreme weather. The Out of the Cold program run by the Salvation Army and the End of the Warmth program run by the Homeless Coalition place homeless neighbors into hotel rooms when the temperature drops to a certain point. So far this winter, over $70,000 has been spent providing temporary shelter. In addition, the cold spell the week before Christmas saw the city open an emergency warming shelter, and I'd like to thank the city for providing that shelter. Since the shelter closing several years ago, San Angelo has become one of the largest cities in the United States without a homeless shelter. It is absurd that our city has not risen to meet the ongoing needs of these individuals. This is not just the problem of these individuals or the Homeless Coalition or the agencies that work together to provide assistance. It is the problem of the entire community of San Angelo. Again, I'm calling upon the City Council to create a homeless shelter task force. I'm also asking that the council adopt a homeless bill of rights. I'm also asking that the city consider a sanctioned campground to temporarily house our homeless individuals. To that end, I am asking that these topics be placed on the agenda for council. San Angelo has gone too long without a shelter for our homeless neighbors, and the time is now to act. Thank you.
Another speaker, Sharon Troy, is the former manager of the local homeless shelter. The Salvation Army closed down a long time ago, but she said that the place is needed and that no one should fear what happens inside.
Good morning. My name is Sharon Troy. I reside at 401 Rio Concho Drive. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I strongly encourage the city to help create a shelter task force that Mike Burnett has previously talked to the council about. Homelessness in San Angelo is personal to me. I worked at the Salvation Army shelter as a shelter manager between January 2016 and May 2017. The shelter provided the public and residents with free meals and showers, and residents paid $10 a night to sleep there. Several people have told me they only ever heard negative things about the shelter. I know when I worked there, I only ever filed 2 criminal trespass complaints. Several residents at staying at the shelter had jobs at Buddy's and Ballinger through People Ready, jobs at restaurants and fast food businesses, and jobs in construction and landscaping, to name a few. Having a shelter allowed for case management to also be done, and I networked with multiple agencies to help residents apply for everything from healthcare services to replacement IDs to permanent housing. As Mike has mentioned previously, having a sanctioned campground would be a great start in providing a safe place for the homeless. I know from personal experience, from not that many years ago, how hard it can be to get the necessary services and supports that are needed to not only function, but be able to work and become self-sufficient in the community. Thank you.
And finally, Sarah Negovetich demands that the city act now because it is not only the responsibility of the city, but because no one here truly understands how hard the homeless population has it.
My name is Sarah Negovetich. I live at 3310 Cumberland Drive. First, I want to thank the City Council and the city for its decision to open the warming shelter shortly before Christmas. I can guarantee you that lives were saved due to the actions of the city in providing a warm, safe place for folks when we were experiencing such cold weather. However, homelessness is not an issue that we can only address when the weather drops cold or when it's advantageous for us to do so. We have a large homeless population here in San Angelo, despite the fact that many of us don't see them because they tuck themselves away for safety. Over and over, I hear the phrase that there's jobs available. So why don't these people just get a job and stop living on the street? So today I'd like to address that issue. First off, there are numerous barriers to individuals obtaining a job. The first of which is documentation. Many of us come from households where we left home with everything that we could possibly need. But the folks living on the street, for many of them, that wasn't the case. They started out in households that didn't have the things that we take for granted, like stable housing, or families that knew what they were doing, or that knew to obtain those documents and keep them. Many of them started out without anything. Obtaining these documents is extremely difficult, complicated, and costly. So for some of our homeless neighbors, getting a birth certificate so that they can obtain the proper documentation to get a job means choosing between buying a piece of paper or paying for meals for the entire week, a decision I'm not sure I could make if I were in the same place. It's not easy to just go get a job, and the city needs to find a solution.
Thank you very much.
No action was taken as these were just public comment, but let me know what you think. Should the city reopen the shelter? Is warming centers enough during the winter? Comment below what you think. And finally, the Tom Green County Commissioners Court on Tuesday morning welcomed some new faces. New County Judge Lane Carter and new County Commissioner for Precinct 4, Sean Nanny, held their first meeting. Judge Carter brought the court into session, and we got it on film. Let's check it out.
Everybody to the January 3rd, 2023 regular agenda for the Tom Green County Commissioners Court. Present are Holscher, Farmer, Carter, Bacon, and Nanny. And Commissioner, would you lead us in?
Overall, the hearing went by smooth and everyone survived. We will see what the future has in store for these two going into their first terms. There are some big games tonight in the Concho Valley. Whether you're looking for boys or girls hoops, Cover One analyst Ryan Chadwick has you covered. For a preview on all of tonight's action, here is Cover One hoops analyst Ryan Chadwick.
Thanks, Matt. The San Angelo Central Bobcats soccer team hosted their second game of the season on Monday against the Snyder Tigers. The Cats dominated the Tigers in all phases of the game and walked away with a dominating victory, 9-0. In other sports news, the Bobcats basketball team hosts Lubbock Trinity Christian tonight at Central High School. The Cats look to improve to 18-3 tonight, but Trinity Christian is a talented squad, and this will be a true test for the Bobcats. The Lady Cats basketball team travels to Stephenville to take on the Honeybees tonight at Stephenville High School. The Wall Hawks and number 9 ranked Lady Hawks travel to Clyde to face the Bulldogs in a pivotal district matchup. The Lady Hawks won the Anson Tournament Championship last week. TLCA and Great Creek square off in district play tonight. Both the Eagles and Lady Eagles seek their first district win.
San Angelo, are you ready? First Tamale Fest coming to San Angelo, Texas, brought to you by Up Positive Promotions, B&W Trailer, and Bricks Winery. We're going to have events for kids, free giveaways. There's going to be Dia de los Reyes, celebrating all the kids and giving free toys. Craft vendors, food vendors, $2 donation for adults, 11 and under getting free. We'll see you there at the Pop Art Museum on 2 week, January the 7th at 10 a.m.
And welcome back to the show. Joining me today is Debbie Cross with the San Angelo Republican Women. And they've got some meetings coming up and some stuff going on in Austin. Debbie, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm proud to be here.
And let's see, you got a meeting coming up Monday.
Yes, January 9th at 6 o'clock at the VFW Club. We have our meeting, and we will have Nick Hanna, Sheriff Nick Hanna, as our speaker. And we'll have some other committee updates and stuff like that. And it'll be a good meeting. Start off the year.
That's it's always normally it's the first Monday.
Yes, normally it's the first Monday, but this time we changed it since with the holiday falling.
With the holiday. Okay.
Anyway, so normally it's the first Monday.
And Sheriff Hanna's always a good speaker. It's nice to hear what's going on with the county.
It's going to update us on what's going on. Yes.
And here in about less than 2 weeks, the boys down in Austin, the legislature is going to meet.
Yes, Legislative Day on February 3rd.
And y'all get to go down there and let them know what your priorities are.
That's right. There will be over 500 women in red on the Capitol step, letting them know and letting our voice be heard.
And that's the way it works in Austin. You've got to go down there and be loud and make your voice heard.
Yeah.
And Republican women have been doing that for a long time.
Very long time. We've been doing the Texas Federation of Republican Women have been around for over 60 years.
Okay.
And we are the largest women's club in the state of Texas.
Well, and you carry a lot of influence. There's a lot of political influence.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
When the Republican women show up in red in Austin, people pay attention.
They pay attention. So that's what we're going to do on February the 3rd. We're going to march on the steps and all be in red, and they can't not see us.
There you go. And we were talking earlier. This is we feel like we just got through with an election and we've got time to sit back and not do anything, but not you guys. This is boots on the ground.
This is boots on the ground. We got to, the next election's not till 2024, but we've got to keep on working and keep our boots on the ground for sure.
Well, their office is coming up for election then, and you've got
Yes.
to support the good folks who are there and recruit good folks to run. And
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have our city elections coming up in May.
we do have
And
an
we
election.
will have lots of opportunities for people to come and listen to our candidates.
Okay.
And
All right.
in February, we'll have Lane Carter come speak to us about his new job and
Okay.
about the city elections. And in March, we'll have Amy Mazzell Flint from the school board, and she will come and talk to us about school board and what school board does, and, you know, if we're going to have anybody running for school board or city council,
Right.
I don't know yet. The date to file is January 18th, and the deadline is February 17th.
Okay,
So-
all right.
so we
So
got a little bit.
it is right around the corner. So
Yes, it is.
we've got an
So
election process.
We've got to, you know, encourage people, Republicans, like-minded people, to get in there and run for those offices and to support our city and our school board.
And that's right. It's very important because the city and the county and the school, they're all taxing entities, and
That's
and
right.
they affect your everyday life and your pocketbook.
Exactly, and we've got to start at home. We've got to start at home and start here, and then go to a state level, and then we can go to the federal level.
Okay. This, again, the meeting is Monday at the VFW Hall over on Browning Street.
125 South Browning,
It's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
And Sheriff Nick Hanna will be the speaker this time.
Exactly, and we're excited.
Okay. And this is the point where generally I maybe forget something. So
No, I don't. We're just excited about a new year and new possibilities, and we're energized, and new president, new board, new, you know. But it's not about me or the board; it's about our group. I mean, we're all, you know, together, and it's not, you know, we're all going to work together, and we're going to keep Texas red
There
and
we
keep
go.
our boots on the ground.
And the guys can come to these meetings too.
Oh yes, most definitely. We encourage the men to come. We have numerous associate members of our men, our husbands, and just men that want to come and be involved.
All right. Well, Debbie, in the San Angelo Republican Women, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much for having me. Yes,
And
and
we'll-
Happy New Year, and let's do this.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, and come back and see us.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
So we were on vacation, family vacation, having a good time, and we get the call.
I mean, it was a river. It was a river in our house. That's the big thing, is we kept wondering, how bad is it?
It was devastating. I was like numb. It's like, how are we going to handle all this? What are we going to do?
Thank you, Yantis and Debbie. Always a good time with the San Angelo Republican Women. Plus, we have a new face here in town with the new president, Debbie Cross. It's always glad, and we'll hear from them every month to just see what they got going on. Don't forget to go stop by the VFW on Monday for their meeting. This is Live Daily News. We're here every weekday at 4 o'clock where we give you a little bit of news, a little bit of interview, and a whole lot of fun. So make sure that you come back every day at 4 o'clock. Make sure you follow us on all our social media accounts just to make sure you know what's going on. And, of course, download that San Angelo Live app, because that's the only place you will find all of this local news in one spot. For everyone here at San Angelo Live, I'm Matt Trammell, and we'll see you tomorrow.